This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, my name is Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, pork pie hat and all, boy, I'm jealous of that hat, man. Don't ever come down to visit me with that hat because I'll steal it from you.
Is that right?
Yeah. Having a little coffee here, I need it. So I was a little flaky today. I was supposed to do this thing with him at one time, and we had changed it from the original date because he's working at Lowe's.
Oh, yeah, and that's a thrill.
Yeah. So usually he has to change the date, but he changed it to another day, Monday, which I don't normally do him on, and I forgot completely about it. But I've been flaky lately, you know.
Why is that?
You know what I found out?
What's that?
I've got like 6 pills my doctors have prescribed that I take every day. All right?
Okay.
For some reason, I forgot to take them for 6 days.
How do you forget to take them for 6 days?
I just forgot to take them for 6 days. I'm sorry. You know, that was it. You know, so I was sorry. I didn't take them, and that's it. And it made me, and I wondered why I was loopy.
Right.
And it was because I wasn't taking a thyroid pill, and I wasn't taking my blood pressure pill. And those two things will make you loopy.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know?
And it's dangerous not to take those medications.
Yeah, so I'm back taking it every day. I took one today, and I'll take one tomorrow. Maybe things will get better, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will.
But part of this flakiness that I've had ever since we had this whole COVID thing is just not remembering stuff. And so, obviously, you and my pills were the two things I forgot. So, how's everything going at Lowe's?
You know, I hate when people throw money at you.
What do you mean, throw it?
Well, they just kind of toss it onto the counter. They don't hand it to you. Like, say the bill is $68. They throw a 20, they throw a 20, they throw a 20. Just kind of rolled up in a ball, and then you got to pick it. They don't hand it to you. They throw it onto the countertop.
Let's see, what did I used to do? I would hand it to them.
Right.
Well, I usually use a credit card, so there's no handing. You know, you just hand a credit card to somebody, or you know, do you take Apple Pay on it?
No.
I mean, where they can use their Apple to pay for it.
No, they can't. They can't do Apple Pay.
Oh, that's too bad, because that's really easy too. You know?
Yeah, we're not that modern.
You're not that modern over at Lowe's? Right. You still use nails to put up walls and things like that?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Do you know the difference between a 10 penny and a 20 penny nail? Okay, well, so much. Price check on aisle 10, please.
No, I could look it up and give you the price for it, but do I know the difference? No.
Yeah, they're just different size nails.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
The 20 penny is twice as big as the 10 penny.
I would imagine. I mean, I don't know what it looks like. You know.
So how'd you come up with the question?
Those big, huge nails. I don't know what penny they are. But you should know. You're at Lowe's.
People come up to me and they're talking to me about construction and doing this and doing that, and I just nod. I have no idea what they're talking about.
I love it. That's
unbelievable.
Huh? Yeah. Well, you know, I don't expect that a Jew like you would know anything about building stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And I'm definitely the oldest person there by years, by decades probably.
Really?
Oh yeah. The people I work with are all in their 20s.
You would think that the people who would want to work at Lowe's are older people.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's not a job that's really age dependent. You know.
No.
I mean, over at if you went over to Walmart, they'd make you a greeter.
Right.
Because of your age, it'd make you a greeter. Joe Biden would be a greeter at Lowe's.
Joe Biden is such an ineffectual president. It's unbelievable.
I just read something today where the Democratic Party in general does not want to see him run again.
Oh no, he's too old.
Yeah, they don't want to see him run again. They are unhappy with his leadership or his lack.
Oh yeah,
and
lack of leadership.
You know, I'd like to think as you get older, you don't get worse. Okay. But he has gotten worse.
Absolutely.
With age. You know, I know that I am in such a way, like I just forgot this appointment, right? And I forgot to take my pills for 6 days. I don't think I'm ready to be president at my age, and I'm 82, and he's going to be 82 when he's through in office. Okay.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So
he's a one-term president, that's for sure.
Well, he's planning on running again. And they're just saying, don't do it. Please, do us a favor. Let us find a nice, fresh human being that nobody knows much about, you know?
So you don't think it'll be Harris, huh?
Oh, well, she'll try to run, but I don't think she'll get the nomination.
Right.
I don't think she has the likability, factor. I think the guy who should run probably and would get nominated and would win, even against Trump, and they've already taken polls about it, is Gavin Newsom of California, the governor.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think he's perhaps the best shot.
Right.
For the Democrats to get a Democrat in there. But then again...
Trump's not going to run again.
Trump says he's running. He's getting his war chest going.
If he's not in jail.
Well, do you think the Democrats are going to do anything about that? Do you think our Justice Department's going to do anything about that? I mean, we have enough on the guy right now to say he incited a riot.
Right. And how come nobody mentions the word treason?
Well, because it may not be necessarily treasonous, and you should be able to make your case on that. But you can certainly make a case for inciting a riot.
Right.
Certainly what he did by asking people to come to Washington, by then giving the speech that he did, and march down to the Capitol. I'll be walking with you.
Right.
That didn't happen. But, inciting a riot, I think, is a pretty sure bet. I think you can convict him on that in a second.
Right.
But it's... Shall we do this to a standing president of the United States, blah, blah, blah. Of course you should.
Absolutely.
The man did a terrible thing, and he should have to pay the price for it.
Hey, they went after Clinton for a cum stain.
Yes.
Which is far less lethal than an insurrection.
Well, of course. Although we don't know how lethal his sperm is. Oh boy. But anyway, so so you must be having fun working there at
Lowe's. Gets me out of the house. I get to meet people. I'll come up with some new material.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, do you come up with have you come up with material on that?
A little bit, just about the size of the general patron. The general American needs to go to the salad bar and step away from the chili.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I got to come up with something about them throwing the money, like I'm a barker in a carnival or something.
Yeah. So that I just had to lower your name here a second. It was too high.
Well, you never introduced me.
Oh, well, it said so on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So I don't need to. You can't see it that way, but I add the name to the screen, and it was a little high, so I lowered it, and now it's fine. But
Oh,
that's
speaking of
if
high,
you look at it, it's Steve Kravitz, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Kravitz. It's right. Let me see. It's right there. See, Stephen Kravitz. There we go.
okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Speaking of high,
Yeah.
tomorrow I'll be 17 years clean, 17 years sober.
Really?
Yep, 17 years.
That's good.
That's a good chunk of time.
Do you still miss it?
No.
See, when I quit smoking, and I'm trying to, maybe you don't like me likening drug abuse to smoking, but I do think they have similar components.
Oh, sure, they're parallel.
And in fact, I've asked heroin addicts what was harder to kick, heroin or cigarettes.
Right.
And,
Right.
And did you ever kick cigarettes?
Yes.
And which was harder?
Heroin.
Really? Oh, okay. All right.
For me, it was.
But anyway, I missed smoking for maybe a couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, every now and then I go, boy, I really could have a cigarette. But as long as it was one of those things where I go, as long as I've gone this long, why spoil a
Right.
good thing?
Right, right,
You know,
right.
like I'm sure you said after 2 years of heroin and you went, oh, I wish I could have some heroin. You probably said to yourself, listen, I've gone this far. Why should I go back
Right.
into the abyss?
And I was lucky, Alex. When I got clean, the obsession to use was lifted. In other words, I didn't have the obsession to use at all.
Oh, really?
And when I quit smoking cigarettes, same thing. I just decided, I only quit in March. I quit on my birthday.
You probably knew me when I quit. I quit when I was at the Quake.
Okay.
And a guy came in one morning and said, oh, well, let's test your breathing. Because at this point I figured I'm going to get away with smoking,
Right.
No problems. And he took a test and he says, you have impaired breathing. You got to stop smoking.
Oh, really?
And that was enough to frighten me because it was the first time I had ever seen an impairment in me as a result of smoking.
Right.
So I stopped smoking. And what I did was I went out. Do you remember there was a thing called Bantron?
No.
It was this thing you take it and what it does is supplies your system with nicotine, but you're not inhaling it.
Okay.
Okay. So I bought some Bantron, and it curbed the desire to smoke. And after about 2 weeks, I just quit the Bantron, and I was off cigarettes, and I had lost my Jones for nicotine.
Right.
So finally, I mean, that being the case, I just never smoked again. That was it. And I'm glad I did it then, because I think I was, maybe 43 at the time.
Were you a heavy smoker?
2 packs a day.
Yeah, that's a heavy smoker.
Of Sherman cigarettes, which are these cigaratellos. They were brown, and you may have even remembered me smoking them. Anyway, I quit. And now that I'm 82, I'm glad that I did.
Right.
They just did a CT scan of my lungs. They found a couple of white spots, which are called nodes, but that's not necessarily, mine were of the size and of the type that they very seldom become cancerous.
Right. You told me this.
So, outside of that, I have no sign of having smoked, and that makes me very happy.
Oh, I bet.
And how long ago did you quit smoking?
Just in March.
Oh, this year?
Yes.
Yeah, well, better to have quit than not to have quit.
That's right. That's right.
And the people go, well, the majority of people who smoke don't get lung cancer. No, but they get other problems. And so they said something like a 98% chance that you'll get something that was caused by the smoking.
Like what?
Let me see here. I'm trying to remember. You're asking me on a bad day because I couldn't remember my name if you asked me.
Right.
It was, first of all, it was just smoking in general. Lung cancer, I think, only amounted to 30% or 30% chance. But then you had, emphysema.
Oh, okay.
Things like that, lung-associated problems. And so when you heart problems as a result of smoking and so on. So they say when you get up there, but it's good you quit. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're not going to get something from it at your age, but
Right.
at least it's good you quit and stay quit. I guess you have.
Right.
You know.
Pretty much.
Plus, you're used to quitting stuff anyway, so you're a champ when it comes to quitting stuff.
Right. I'm a quitter.
I mean, heroin certainly is a rough go,
Right.
but it's not.
Right.
It's not as rough as some other things. Like, for instance, the so-called cure for heroin addiction, methadone, is
It's worse. Much worse.
Yeah.
Much worse. And the other, what's even worse is benzodiazepines.
Benzodiazepines, like what? What's a benzodiazepine?
Valium, Xanax, Klonopin.
I take Xanax occasionally, but when I take a thing called pregabalin for my neuropathy, which you take probably gabapentin.
No, I take Lyrica.
Lyrica, well, Lyrica is pregabalin.
Right, that's what I take.
Mine's just a generic, and they say you really shouldn't take it with Xanax because you just get doubly high from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I had to take it the other night because I couldn't go to sleep because usually it works as a sleeping pill, and but that's the thing that's making me bump into walls when I get up in the morning. It's the pregabalin.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel loopy from it sometimes when you wake up?
No, because I don't take that high of a dose.
What are you taking?
75 twice a day.
Oh, really? I'm taking 100 once a day.
Oh, okay.
But that's before I go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm kind of like loopy all day,
Well, the Xanax has a really long half-life.
Yeah, well, I don't do Xanax. I wasn't doing Xanax that much anyway. I do like a small part of a pill, and to put me to sleep. But once I got the pregabalin, I didn't need it. It put me to sleep. So, Anyway, I'm just affected a lot by the pregabalin. Here we are, folks. Here we are in our old age talking about the drugs we take. In the old days,
the medicine we take, Alex. The medicine.
Yeah. In the old days, we'd be talking about the cocaine, the pot,
right,
and the heroin. But no, we're talking about pregabalin, or as I call it, a Jerry Lewis drug, pregabalin. They're Jerry Lewis drugs, and we're watching television at night. At the 6:30 news, they run all these ads for drugs that, various drugs, because they figure older people are watching the news, the 6:30 news, or I don't know what time it's on in your area, folks, but the national news. And every time a drug comes on, I go, that's not a Jerry Lewis drug. Oh, but that is.
Right.
And there's some that are on the border. Restasis, that doesn't exactly mean, but pregabalin.
Pregabalin,
and of
lady.
course, in the vitamin area, Jerry Lewis vitamin is riboflavin. So anytime you hear the name of a drug, folks, think if it would translate into Jerry Lewis.
Right.
What do you think of Jerry Lewis?
As I get older, I have more respect for him. I mean, he did do some really good stuff, and I liked him. I liked him as a kid. When I was younger, I liked him.
There were a couple of things he did that I really liked. I mean, and I kind of remember that he saved my life, actually.
How's that?
Well, I got my girlfriend pregnant. Everybody knows this story. I got my girlfriend pregnant. I was 19 at the time.
Oh, God.
And she had just broken up with me and was going to go give the baby up for adoption when it came. Okay, and her parents wouldn't let me see her. And I'm driving around Marin County really depressed. I mean, you know that kind of depression, right?
Yeah, I know it.
And rather than go kill myself, I went into the theater down in Sausalito. I'm trying to remember the name of it. And I just walked in, just wanted to see some movie to get my brain off of this. And it was a Jerry Lewis movie. And I thought it was Cinderfella or something like that, but I can't remember. It was one of the Jerry Lewis movies. And if you look
The Nutty Professor?
No, it wasn't The Nutty Professor. And I felt Jerry Lewis was a little over the top, but I liked The Nutty Professor, and this thing looked like it was going to be okay. And I went in and I was depressed. I was just, how can I call it? Clinically depressed.
Right. In a very dark space.
Yeah, very dark space. And I started watching this movie. And after a while, I suddenly realized I was laughing. And he took me away from my problems for that hour and a half, 2 hours, by making me laugh.
Right.
And I walked out of the theater 200% better and feeling better than when I went in. And I suddenly realized the true value of comedy. You know,
oh, wow.
That a good comedy can take you from a bad place and put you in a better place.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and that's the value of comedy, and that's why I always had the greatest respect for anybody who could make other people laugh.
Right.
And I said, if I could do that once in my life, save somebody's life because they laughed at something I said, I will have felt that my life was worth it.
Oh, sure.
You know, so I mean that was a real lesson for me. And Jerry Lewis taught me that lesson. So I mean, it was an amazing thing that happened there, and that was a life changer for me. So you should know that you were in a healing art.
Oh yeah, I mean I know that hour I'm on stage, people forget about their taxes, they forget about how their boss is an ass. They forget about all that bad stuff, and they just laugh for that hour.
Yeah. And once they leave, even though the problems are still there, which mine was, somehow they don't seem as profound.
Right. They don't seem as deadly.
So comedy, really, and comedians, it's a healing art.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But again, back to the question about what did you feel about Jerry Lewis? Because tell me.
I told you I liked him when I was a young kid. When I was a young kid, I really liked Jerry Lewis. But I liked Laurel and Hardy. I liked the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, but you never grew out of the Marx Brothers, and you never grew out of Laurel and Hardy, did you?
No, but I did grow out of Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, kids liked him. I think we liked him as kids because the character he was playing on screen was this kid.
Right. A big kid.
A big kid who was crazy. It was nuts. But I always felt he was over the top. I mean, as I grew up, I went, Jerry Lewis. But,
right. That's how I felt.
So explain something, having spent time in France. Why do the French love Jerry Lewis, or is that just a lie?
Well, in the world that I was in France, it was a lie.
You were studying pantomime or whatever.
I was studying 15th century Italian comedy, physical comedy.
Physical comedy. And none of you guys found Jerry Lewis funny.
No.
Okay.
Let's just say he never came up in conversation.
Well, I guess that whole thing about France is kind of
Well, don't forget the school I went to. There was only like two French students that were French. The rest of them were from all over the world, from Venezuela, from Greece, from Switzerland.
Yeah.
From all over the world.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, listen, I just looked here at the clock, and we're running out of fregablin. No, we're running out of time. But I enjoy these gatherings that you and I have, and hopefully we'll see you again next week, huh?
Hopefully.
Very nice of you to do these things, by the way.
Thanks,
Ladies
Alex.
and gentlemen, Stephen Kravitz.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. What have I got echo for? What is that? What is that? Oh, listen, I didn't realize I had that. See, I can do that. But I don't like doing it because it's a waste of time. I can change the kind of echo it is. You see, I can change it, I can lower it, I can make it so I have an echo here, a lot of it. There we go. Yeah, okay. Let me see here. I think, what do I have to turn off? I guess it's that. Would that kill it? Yeah, that kills it. Okay. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm Alex. Whenever I do this show, I suddenly start waking up. It's really strange because I have this, I've been like really loopy lately. And I lie down, and then when I get up, I'm really lightheaded and so on. And I think it's my blood pressure. I think it's something to do with blood pressure, but I'm going to go see a doctor in about a week. Well, no, I have one next week, and then one the week afterwards. Okay. So, anyway, that's all we're going to do. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, look, we got a bunch of people who want to talk with us. Let me just admit them all. Okay, here we go. Let me see here. Let me bring them into our living room here. Yes, and there's Charlie Wallace, and there's there with his camera covered because he wants to make sure that nobody steals his identity, is Brian Neary, with the look of blinds across him as well.
That's all we're going to do.
Hey, you don't have a blood pressure thing involved?
Yeah.
So let me just
Wait a minute.
Okay, here we go.
We've got problems with Jeff. Jeff, you got to just kill your browser. Kill the browser.
There's Charlie Wallace, and
there
his camera covered because he wants to make sure that nobody steals his identity. Is Brian Neary.
Just kill the browser, Jeff. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. See the little dot at the top of the browser?
Pam!
Wait a minute. I think we're okay now.
Yeah.
I think we're okay. No.
Can't get it.
All you got to do is go to your browser and just there's a dot at the top of it.
Pam! Oh, there she goes! We need the bat signal for Pam.
Yeah, we need.
Oh, you're not on. I see you.
Yeah, but the audio is coming through. He didn't kill the browser. What you do is you take a gun and you shoot your browser. That's how you kill your browser.
You must have a YouTube window open or something.
Well, I think we're okay now. No, maybe we're
I did it.
Can't get it.
There you go.
Did I do it?
All you gotta do is go
No.
Nope.
Pam!
I'm here. I'm not even
There
doing
she
it.
goes. We need the bat signal for Pam.
I'm here.
No, you see, no.
Oh, no.
Oh well, it's
When all fails, just get out. Al, don't you have a blood pressure
yeah.
thing? So why don't you take it?
My blood pressure seems to be okay, and I don't take it all the time. I have to get it. It's in the closet somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
I take mine every day.
With all the toilet paper?
Yeah. I mean, it could be I need better thyroid medicine. That could be too, a higher dose. you know. So who knows? Who knows? But nothing's going to kill me. But it's just I get up and it takes me like about 2 minutes before my head's straight, you know. And so anyway, what the hell? Cheers. Anyway, I'm kind of like I like doing this without my cap. But I may have to wear it again soon because if Marjorie doesn't shave me soon, I'm gonna have to.
That's nice. You don't have like a big shine. You know, it looks like you have makeup done. You know, it's nice and clean. It's not like shiny.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I just you know. But yeah. Oh, here. Oh, what do you know? We're getting a bonus night of Phil.
Oh no, really? Pretend I wasn't here. Pretend I wasn't here.
Okay, I won't tell him you're here, Brian.
Wow, he really left.
I don't know what's going on.
It's just one of those nights. Yes, Phil. And to what do we? Oh, yeah. Of course, you're going to tell us how your
Yeah.
Colonoscopy.
Well, to everyone's chagrin, I lived.
Yeah. Well, they put you out, of course.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
By
of
the way,
any-
he had a colonoscopy, folks. Like let's get ready for this. He's the first person ever to have a colonoscopy. Go ahead, Phil.
That's why he's smiling.
Yeah. It was fine. I've never had one before, and
How old are you?
68.
Should have had your first one at 50.
Yeah, I should have had one years ago.
I know. I had a sigmoidoscopy.
No, well, those don't count.
and-
Those don't count.
And they said they didn't find anything, and then after that, I just did the fit tests, and that was the whole deal.
Yeah. Oh, well, this was a full-blown colonoscopy, right?
Yeah, although I don't remember a thing. They found one polyp.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find a decent background.
I hear they had to strap a 2x4 to the doctor so he didn't fall in.
Fallen and drown. Yeah, no, that was on your ass, Alan.
No, but yeah. So you found one polyp, so that means you got to have another one in 3 years.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. They said that it looked benign.
Look,
So,
Well,
Hasn't
it
gone-
looked benign. They don't
It
know.
looked.
It looked benign. They
Yeah.
don't know till they send it out.
I held it up to the light. He said, "Looks benign
Yeah,
to me."
He went and he. Nah, I don't think it's. I think it's benign. Yeah, tastes like it's benign.
It was another one for the collection.
Yeah. Yeah.
B9 or B10.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's the story.
Let's all hear it for Pam, by the way. Let's give her a
Yay,
big round of
Pam!
applause.
Hey, Pam.
Can we
He's the
get your phone
browser
number
killer.
so we just text you when we need to?
No, I'm not the tech girl. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
Right. Do we trade you
Pam.
in? Phil leaves and Pam stays on?
I don't know about the movie you watched last night.
Yeah. Anyway, so you had your little colonoscopy today, and
Yeah. And, other than the fact they made me wait about 40 minutes on a gurney before they wheeled me into the room, everybody was very nice. And,
Doesn't it make you feel comfortable where you see those little paddles that they restart your heart in the same room with you?
I didn't see those. They just told me to lay on my side, and it wasn't the side where the paddles were.
Yeah, not everybody reacts well to the fentanyl that they give you for the pain medicine.
here comes the other Brian, by the way. Brian with a Y. Brian Sigmund, who is
Bathtub
also known
Brian.
as Bathtub Brian, because sometimes he does this in a bathtub. But you're not doing it in a bathtub now.
Not today, but I've been drinking.
Okay, all right, that's good for starters. Yeah.
You should call the Monday show.
I love you.
You what?
You love Phil? What are you,
No,
nuts?
beer.
Oh.
He likes Kavanaugh too.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
Oh no, that was a reference to Kavanaugh liking beer.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The Monday show's 4 o'clock Eastern.
don't tell Phil when it's on. We try to hide it from him.
I was telling Brian.
Well, just so you know, if you want me to go in the bathtub, I'm more than happy to.
No, you don't really have to.
Just
No.
don't bring the razor.
Drinking and bathtubs don't go together.
Yeah, you could drown.
No,
Yeah.
well, it's the razor on his wrist that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. What the hell? No.
You could do a manscape on Alex Bennett's show. That would be
He'll get delisted or defunded.
Yeah. So anyway, Phil. So he thinks it's not malignant. In most cases, they're not. Sometimes they say they don't. What they don't know is, are they precancerous?
That's right.
You see, and that's one of the categories.
That's right.
Oh,
And I told Phil, he said, no, it's done. And I said, they're going to send it to pathology and they'll make the
Yeah,
real.
and they might
No,
say
it's done.
they might say it's precancerous. You know.
Yeah.
But,
Well, all polyps by nature are precancerous.
no,
So
no, not really.
That's where most cancers
Some of them are
start.
absolutely benign polyps, and then there's precancerous polyps, and then there's cancer. Am I right, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the cancerous polyps.
you know, I was looking forward to the propofol also, but you know, I'm talking to him 1 second later, I'm out, and then you know.
Yeah, but
I
there's
don't know
this
how to
little
get
flash. There's this little flash you get just before you go out.
nothing.
That's,
They robbed me.
really?
Yeah.
There's this little, it's like a. You know what I'm talking about, Charlie?
Well, no, because apparently they wanted me conscious during my colonoscopy.
Right.
Well,
So
that's because they
I
didn't.
was-
That's because they didn't like you.
But the thing is, the anesthetic made it so that my short-term memory went away, so I have no memory of
You-
any of my
You,
colonoscopy.
Really?
Charlie,
Even
you
though
got
the
it.
doctor says I was conscious, they had conversations with me while they were doing it.
But you don't remember.
Well, it's
That's-
called.
Yeah, no
I'll tell you.
regulation.
Sometimes it's referred to as a twilight drug. It doesn't exactly put you out.
Right. Tried to explain that to Phil.
No, but this guy said that I because it was a Thursday, and at this one hospital, that's when they have an anesthesiologist. And
Oh, I
they-
thought you were going to say that was anesthesia day,
Yeah, it was
and
anesthesia day.
it's a 2-for-1. Plus, you get to be put out twice as long.
Yeah. So anyway, I asked them why they had everybody here on Thursday, and he said, I said, was it on sale? You know, they're probably having a sale. But what happened is they put me out to where I was not aware of anything. 1 minute I was out, and the next minute the guy says it's over, and they wheel me back to a
Well, no,
room.
I mean that's what happens. It's like how I describe it. It's like they edited 25 minutes out of your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they go, Jay, I get this little thing, and then the next thing I know, I'm waking up. You know.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the thing. You know, I was kind of looking forward to a rush or something like that, but nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I was there.
you got your fentanyl.
No, it was
Propofol.
Propofol propofol knocks you out. The fentanyl stops the pain from the scope.
The trouble with the trouble with the propofol though is right after they inject it, you start moonwalking.
I was just gonna say it's
Well-
the drug that killed Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
My friend told me he had a colonoscopy not a short time ago, and they didn't have any lidocaine. And if they inject lidocaine before they give you the propofol doesn't feel hot. He said that it burned going in. It was awful. And
He's a pussy. He's a
he said the
pussy.
doctor told him that they didn't have any lidocaine, that there's a lidocaine shortage. So I asked the guy at my hospital, I said, are you going to be using lidocaine when you administer the propofol? And he says, how'd you know about that? It was a buddy
Because
told
he's
me.
a pussy.
Yeah, but it didn't burn going in.
Okay.
All right, that's great. Great news. What
Yeah.
else is going on?
And the guy
Thank you,
said,
Phil.
the guy said, yes, there is a lidocaine.
Wait a minute. What is this
shortage.
that's going on at Brian's house?
Well, I like that shot.
It looks like the Rubber Soul cover.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of like a little party going on over here.
Oh, are you really?
I put it on mute, but then everybody wants to look in at the camera. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
Man, you got 2 boyfriends. What a lucky fucker.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make.
That's okay. When they get in the tub with you, then you can turn it off.
Yes, we're gonna
If
go.
you get in the tub, Alan, if you get in the tub, there won't be any water.
Anyway.
Sorry, Alex. I love you. I'm sorry, buddy.
How's everything up in your neck of the woods, Brian?
It's doing good. It's peak air conditioning seasoning. So, when I get home at night, I might drink harder than usual. But yeah, that's all. I mean, it's very busy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But you don't drink while you're at work, do you?
No. That would just make things harder, honestly. I mean,
wait, people keep. You know something? You should get Adrian right now to be in competition with the people at his house.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like that's Sam and that's Aiden, and that's.
Are they your sons or friends or what?
Yeah. Sam's 15, Aiden's 18. He's learning the trade. He's going to VOTEC next year, and then you have Mike, and Mike's he's just an asshole. It's
New Jersey. What do you expect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I saw this.
Beautifully said.
Brian, I saw this guy talking about a shortage of air conditioner parts, and that certain areas of the country can't get the parts to fix the air conditioners.
This is the same guy that told you there was a shortage of Novocaine?
Well, I will say this. If you are in need of an air conditioning part and someone says that there's a shortage, I would double check on that. There's a shortage on things, but it's very sparse. So from brand to brand. I could see people using that as a way to maybe encourage people to buy new. I've had great luck. I mean, even since the beginning of COVID, I never had a problem buying equipment. I knew that there was other people buying equipment, and I knew that there were certain brands that were having issues with certain generations of circuit boards and stuff like that. It's really particular. And if anybody here ever actually has an air conditioning issue or a heating issue and has a problem with finding, say a contractor says they have an issue finding a part, I would encourage them to just at least reach out to me. I mean, I would know. I would find that out, because there's a lot of guys out there that are using that kind of thing to just sell new equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Never even crossed my mind, but that's
now
true.
You know what there is.
Carpet business
You know
too.
what there is a dangerously short supply of now.
Propofol?
No. No. And it was a big story in the news the last couple of days, if you were watching the right news, and that's semiconductors. It seems as though we're running out of semiconductors, and Taiwan is the only maker. They make 90% of the world's semiconductors, and if they have trouble with China, we don't have semiconductors, and they go into everything from your iPhones to your thermostats to a lot of different things.
Well, they're sending cars out now that don't have the heated seats and don't have certain options because they can't get the chips, and even a company like BMW is starting to follow Tesla's motion. What they're doing is they're charging, if you want to have heated seats and in a BMW, it's $18 a month. It's a subscription service, and other car companies are going that way too. Tesla, as Brian Neary could probably tell you.
Wait a minute. To warm your seats is a subscription?
Yeah.
Suppose you don't pay your bill. Do they turn off your seats?
Your seats stay cold.
I mean, you still have the semiconductor. You still have all the hardware in your car.
Right. Yeah.
They just turn off the
But
socket.
then the shortage wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
you know, I
it's
don't
just
like
that-
it. I don't like any of
It
that.
doesn't make
because-
any
wait a minute,
sense,
hold on a
does it,
second.
Brian?
I don't like any of that because what this means is that somebody has control over your car. Okay? And that's
Yeah.
not right. That's not good. That's not healthy.
Everybody have a drink. Phil can't be right
Well,
on this. It doesn't
You know,
make
even with Teslas, I saw some YouTubes that said that if you bought like a salvage Tesla, yeah, really,
Yeah.
bought a salvage Tesla, you couldn't use the fast chargers.
Why?
That was just the way they dealt with it. They didn't want you. You couldn't use a fast charger. Yeah, you get these guys on YouTube that do these things where they've had it 30,000 miles, 100,000 miles, and
I like YouTube. It tells me where to buy my carpet and the good quality carpets and stuff.
Today,
Wrong.
I'll tell you what I use YouTube for. Marjorie decided, boy, hey, that's you know something. Your kid makes me laugh really hard.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
trying to ignore her, and maybe she'll just go away.
what was
Yeah.
that
Oh no!
snake?
Oh no! That's not.
What?
That's not. That's not.
What was that snake with all the arms?
Medusa.
Like Methuselah. or something like
Medusa.
that?
Medusa.
Medusa. Yeah. That's what it looks like behind Brian.
Just keep talking. Just pretend like she's not there.
Okay, I'll pretend like she's not there. Anyway, no. What I was going to say today, we had a problem.
She's waiting for swear words.
He's lying.
We,
you know, Brian, when Phil says something wrong, do you give her a drink too?
Brian, by the way, Brian with the Brian with a Y, has something. Who is this? Nagutu San. Does that anybody we know?
Probably Tony.
I doubt it, but let me look. Hold on a second. Well, first, let me go to Brian. You have your hand up.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll put the hand down if I can. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So listen,
Mhm.
there are these software companies that they'll make games and they'll have in-app purchases, and what they'll do is it'll be a free game otherwise, and then while you're in those games and you get hooked to those games, you have in-app purchases. That is a business model. What BMW is doing is shit.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're putting hardware and software in a vehicle, and they have to cover those costs. You can't just put heat coils inside of a seat and just assume that your subscription is going to pay for that. So you put these heat coils in there. You're paying for that with the cost of the vehicle.
Right.
So for you to go and then have to pay per month for that is an absolute outrage.
I had heated seats when I was in California with my Acura, and
You didn't need 'em.
I'm sorry, the only thing that turned them off was me when I flicked the switch. You know.
My point is they need to burn in hell because
BMW, yeah.
because and if that honestly becomes the way people are going, it's nonsense. That's a completely different business model. If you were to create a game that is free to download and you would have in-app purchases, that's a different business model than selling you a car with the hardware and software inside of it. That stuff's paid for.
Yeah.
So for them to do that, they're effing fucking whores.
Well, you're paying. How much you're paying
I'll
for?
tell you, Brian, don't get too excited. Phil's probably wrong.
How much? Do you,
No,
wait,
no,
hold on a
no.
second. Hold
This
on a
is
second.
real.
Hold on a second.
This is
How much
real.
do you pay? Well, let's ask the other Brian because he knows this sort of thing. How much do you pay for a BMW, Brian? Other Brian?
Pens.
Huh? You don't know? I think you know
Between
everything about
60
cars.
Between 60 and 120,000.
60.
60 to 100,000. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you pay $60,000 to $100,000 for a car, and they turn off your goddamn seats. I mean, what
Because-
cheap motherfucking asshole!
Brian, does that
A
make
lot
any
of-
sense?
Wait a minute,
No.
Jeff, you want to say
A
something?
lot of people don't really buy the car. They lease the car. And now it's not a buy. It's a lease. And that means that if they have these extra special things, you got to pay for it.
I heard they do that with those new fancy heart valves too. You lease them.
It doesn't make sense that they put all that hardware in there and then they don't give you the heated seat. You know,
absolutely.
Who was that? Who was that just said, that was talking about leasing the car? Who was that?
That was Jeff.
Jeff.
Who?
Jeff.
Jeff Stein.
Jeff. They're not leasing the car. They're not leasing the car.
Well, some people lease cars. So
Well, who's not leasing the car, Brian? Who are you saying?
The thing that they're charging for the heated seats, and Toyota has started to charge for GPS, and so there's a whole change in the car industry.
No, they're just trying to get more money out of you.
You know, Phil, none of this has to do with the shortage of chips.
I mean, if I go out,
go take a bath.
I can go out and buy a GPS node, okay, hook it up to my computer, a laptop computer. I can get the GPS. I don't need to buy one from BMW. I've got it on my iPhone.
You have an iPhone. Your
My
smartphone.
iPhone's got the GPS in it.
Yeah. And I don't pay for the GPS usage
and like
on my iPhone.
Like my car has navigation and everything, but it doesn't have traffic. But if I want to get traffic, I go to Waze and I find the quickest way to get there.
Yeah.
Tonight, Faye uses Waze, and it works with her Apple CarPlay in the Toyota.
No extra charge.
I have GPS built into my FJ Cruiser, and her Waze was saying, "Oh, there's a police officer on the side of the road.
Right.
There's a debris in the highway.
Right.
There was a dead animal in the highway." I said, this gives you a lot more information. I don't know that I want it either, but
Yeah, but all I'm saying is you don't need to pay BMW to use your GPS. You just say fuck them.
Toyota GPS BMW heated seats.
I mean, everybody. I use Lyft a lot around New York. Okay, and every time a Lyft guy picks me up, he's even got a GPS in the car. He's not using it. He's using his iPhone.
Right.
Yeah.
And mine is a 2017 Cadillac CT6, and that one, they've sent me email saying $99 to update the navigation, and I say no, because they have like new areas. Sometimes I'm driving and there's like no streets because they're recent, but I don't care.
Well, I think it was 1995, 1996, I had an Acura TL, the top of the line, and I got it, and I wanted it. Because I'm Mr. Techie, I wanted it with a GPS. And I bought it with a GPS in it. And I was one of the first people to have a GPS in my car. To show you how long ago that was, the voice on the GPS had a Japanese accent.
Now, Alex, did it also have a sextant in the glove box? So you can map the stars?
One thing that I saw today was Campbell Police. There were about 4 or 5 police around. It looked like an old bank, and it was like one story. Mm-hmm. And they were there doing something, trying to find something. And all of a sudden, the one cop whipped out his briefcase with a drone. So instead of having to go up on the roof to see if there was somebody, I guess they were looking for somebody or something, they whipped out the drone, and the guy started buzzing the drone like over the building, I guess, to see if there was somebody up top that they were finding.
They were looking for donuts.
But all I'm saying is I had one of the earliest GPSs, and I had to pay, I think, $2,000 to have it in the car. But once I had it in the car, the only thing that they would charge me for if I moved to like New York, this thing had a CD player in the back, and I had to replace the CD with the CD for that. What? No, CD player, a CD, whatever that worked with the GPS.
Right, it had the CD.
Now you don't even need that. Now you're just fed the coordinates from wherever you are.
Right.
Right. But all I'm saying is, how dare they charge that much for a car and not say, "Hey, the GPS is on us." I mean,
Charlie's.
Yeah,
Brian said something that made me wonder about time. You're talking about the police guy pulling out this drone. I've noticed this year, every night when I'm out there umpiring, you see at least one drone go around the softball field.
Oh,
Yeah, they're looking for abortions in your state.
Yeah, they
Probably,
could be
yeah,
photographing the game too. They could be somebody
It could be a lot of drones or amateurs just playing around.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got cameras and.
But
If,
they
it
used
start,
to-
if the drone starts shooting at you, it's time to run.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
they
I
got-
can't
police
even
drive by the fields every night, but
I
you know.
can't even buy a drone because
Why?
because I can't use it in New York City. In New York City, they won't let you use it. Not even if you. I thought maybe if you go to Central Park, it's okay to use. No, it's not.
Really?
No.
Wow.
And
It's
I've
not
wanted
even
to
a
have.
Republican
I've
state.
wanted to have a drone for the longest time. I wanted to shoot video with a drone. You know, things like that. So
Yeah.
you know.
And you got to get a drone pilot's license
Yes.
to be able to use a drone.
No, it depends on the drone.
Yeah, it's
If,
the size.
if you get a drone under a certain size,
Yeah.
no, you don't. So
Will those
Yeah, we
real
do
small
drones
ones
right here.
carry a camera?
yeah.
Or a bomb.
I can't remember. There's a limit, but I can't remember what the reason for the limit is and how much it is.
Oh, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have the soccer fields across the street. We do drones over there.
yeah. I mean, I would love to have a drone. Just would die to have one. Be able to shoot stuff with a drone.
Who's gonna stop you?
But they're going to stop me if I'm up flying there, and
Well, what
they're
you
going to
do
see
is
it
you
flying. They're going to wait for it to land, and then they're
Put
going
a
to
sheet over the controls, and nobody knows it's you controlling it.
what?
It's got control.
Alan, the tub is over there.
When the thing lands, it lands where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they shoot it down,
These things, you can't lose these things. These things, if they start losing power, will just go back to where they took off from.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Unlike
return
Bill.
to their point of takeoff.
Although GoPro a while back decided they were going to get into the drone business, and that was very short-lived because their drones were crashing everywhere, including into people.
DJI is the one that the top of the
DJI
line.
is the biggest company
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah. And they got some. I've seen some drones that are, they've got drones now that can take people. It's a whole new
I think they're called
industry.
helicopters.
No,
No, they have those on 60
no,
minutes.
there's a name for them.
Weren't they going to deliver packages with drones?
Yeah,
They do.
yeah, and they do.
Hey, you haven't got an Amazon package delivered yet with a drone? I have.
Oh,
It came right onto the porch, dropped it there. I go, what the hell's that noise?
It
And
was
I looked,
ticking.
and there's
It was ticking.
looked like a big mosquito on my porch.
Really? You actually had a drone deliver an Amazon package?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it probably
They're testing them.
probably delivered it to the wrong door.
Probably they're testing them. It's a test market in Fremont where I live.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they have. There was a thing on 60 Minutes a couple of months ago, and they ran it again a couple of weeks ago, in which they have these drones that are now able to carry people, and they are automatic. There's no pilot. You just get in them, and they take you to wherever you're going and land you there.
yeah.
Isn't that like the jetpack that they had with what
No.
was that cartoon in the 1930s? Huh?
Cartoon in the 1930s.
Yeah, it was like a comic book where the guy had a jetpack.
That was Commando Cody, wasn't it?
Was that it? I don't think
He had
that's
he had a jetpack.
Yeah.
Commando Cody and the Lost Planet Airmen.
Good group.
No, but that was
No
the name of
jetpack,
that was the name of the cereal.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
right.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a group called the Commander
Yes,
Cody?
yes, they named them after the cereal, Phil.
Oh, well, I don't eat cereal. Too many carbs.
See, I knew you were going to say that.
You got to give Phil a little slack. once
No,
in a
I'm not going to
while,
give him
Alex.
slack. He's getting too predictable.
he needs new material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Tony.
Raise my pay.
Are you in mourning?
A little bit. I was shocked she died. My sister told me. I didn't even know what she died from.
Oh, that's right.
Well, you see, nobody.
Ivana Trump, yeah.
Ivana
I kept
Trump
getting the
died.
names wrong.
Yeah.
I saw the CNN alert said Trump died, and I thought it was, oh my god.
I
passed out
bottle of
like a minute.
champagne.
Yeah.
I passed out for like 2 minutes, and then I woke up and I saw it. Oh,
You're opening a box of
73.
Havanas. Yeah, what?
Wasn't she 73?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They think she may have fallen downstairs.
Really?
They said that she was on the floor and unresponsive when the medics got there.
What you know, Brian? When I saw the thing that Trump dies over the flashover, I went out and said, "Son of a bitch, I gotta get a bottle of Dom Perignon." You know, celebrate all my friends. You know.
Well, you know, I mean,
happened to be the
I
wrong
interviewed
Trump.
her years ago on the phone, not live. In the, maybe she was in the studio. Yes, she was in the studio, and a very nice woman, very nice woman. I felt so bad that she had to marry an asshole like that.
Yeah, how's that?
He
Yeah.
gave her 14 million when they got divorced.
Was
Is
she
that
still married
all?
then?
Is that
And,
all?
yeah, and when it was 1980, when he became president, he offered her the ambassadorship to Czechoslovakia, and she turned it down because she says, "No, I got the good life. I don't want to do that."
Yeah, I don't need that kind of crap.
Yeah, and he would have thrown her under the bus like he did everybody else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yes. I just looked. The hand is up again where Brian is. Hi, Brian.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little past the subject here, but is there anybody here that thinks that automobile companies having microtransactions is okay?
What's a microtransaction?
We'll sell you a car with heated seats installed, and we'll only turn it on if you pay for a monthly subscription, that kind of thing, or cruise control, or being able to link your Apple phone to the speaker system, so you can.
I saw something on because I'm a YouTube addict, junkie, and I was watching a thing today where some guy bought an electric motorcycle on Amazon, and it was like $3,500, and he got the thing, and then he had to put it together, and finally put it together, and they charged it up, and then he got on it, he started to ride around on it, and he could only get 10 miles an hour, and then he read the instructions, and they said before you can go faster, you have to watch our video on how to drive an electric motorcycle. So before he could, and then once he did that, they unlocked it.
Yeah.
And he could go 50, 60 miles an hour.
You know, they do that with jet skis too. These jet skis that'll do 40, 50 miles an hour, but they'll only do 20 until you get a certain number of miles on the thing to learn how to use
Well,
it.
this is bullshit. You know,
Well,
I mean,
you want to
just
get on a
to
jet
answer-
ski and kill yourself?
To answer Brian's question, yes, I think it's bullshit that the car companies are doing that.
No, I want to know if there's anyone here that thinks it's okay.
no, absolutely not.
Because like it's one thing to say I want you to take this course, blah 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 blah, but it's another thing if a monthly subscription. Like you have to understand, in order to put heated seats into a car, you have to put copper coils into the seats. You have to put actual what's called hardware.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to have it communicate with an interface, then you have to have software, or you have to have manual switches, it would just be straight hardware. You know, that stuff is not paid for out of the goodness of anyone's heart in the event that you might buy a subscription.
Yeah, but here's
that
the thing.
means,
Yeah.
That means that you are buying that frickin' vehicle with that stuff in it. You are paying for it.
Yeah.
That stuff's in there. And for them to sit there, it's not the same business model as making
Well,
Fortnite.
here's the thing. Like, I never, only once did I lease a car, and that was only when I owned another one already. Okay, but I always wanted to own my cars. I never wanted to pay a lease on them, and they put you into the situation now where you have to have a lease. They prefer you get a lease. And I find that ridiculous because I'm always checking my mileage thing to make sure I'm not over the amount,
I had a car that I had to release 3 times because I kept putting more miles on than I was allowed, and it would have cost me more than the car was worth to get out of it. So I just kept leasing it, and then finally bought it out at the end of the lease when it was.
Well,
worth
right
nothing.
now, if you have a car and you get to the end of your lease, do yourself a favor, take the buyout. Go get a loan, take the buyout. Here's the reason why. Because that car is now worth more than it was when you bought it.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now, but that's
But still, you can come out ahead if you decide to buy that car.
Yeah.
You know.
If I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If a lease is going to be the wedge that these car makers get, where they go, well, you don't really own the vehicle, or you're not making an agreement to own the vehicle. So if the lease is going to be some kind of a wedge where they can make these microtransactions available, then they're not leasing you the vehicle. At some point we have to call bullshit. They're not leasing you anything.
What we have to do is complain to the government to put a stop to this practice.
I don't believe the lease has anything to do with them renting you your heated seats. The lease, you lease the car. And if the car has heated seats, I agree with Brian Bathhub that, the seats should work, you know? Unless, if they tell you, okay, you're going to have to pay $300 more for that option, then you pay $300 more if you want it. But, to give you a subscription to it is that, what Microsoft was doing and Adobe is doing is they're doing the same thing. I used to buy, the Microsoft operating system or their programs. I used to buy Adobe Lightroom. Now I have to rent it by the month, just like you do, Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
$50 a month or
and that's
different. That's a whole different.
That's a bullshit model too.
I've never had to pay month to month for heated seats. That always came with the car.
Yeah,
right.
It's 109 degrees where you live. What do you need?
Heated seats.
I'm a contractor in South Jersey, and my license is regulated by the Department of Consumer Affairs. And the reason why they do that is so if you have a problem with a contract, you can call the Department of Consumer Affairs, you can make a complaint, and they will put themselves in between, because if what I do is so egregious, they can say, we're not going to renew your contractor's license if you do not rectify the situation. We don't have anything like that for all this bullshit. We don't. So I'm sitting here living at the helm of the Department of Consumer Affairs, but there's nothing like that for anything. That's what's going on with the airlines right now. Right now, there's a whole uproar about what are we going to do with these airlines, and and a lot of people are saying too little, too late. Well, better now than never, but it's just. It's strange because they're beating up the little guy who has to comply to this stuff. Meanwhile, all this other stuff, it's being just completely just neglected. I don't know. Sorry.
No,
I get on the show under the influence of alcohol more often.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am.
Just share.
Man, by the way, I got a huge fly flying around this room.
That's a drone, Alex.
It's a drone.
It could be.
The Amazon drone. They're gonna drop off shaver blades.
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
got heated seats too, and I'm paying for it.
Yeah, I got another topic. I don't know if any of you guys heard of something called KillNet. It's a Russian hacker, and on the 7th of this month, they shut down the Library of Congress for 2 hours, and also they shut down the.
Well, that would be a blow to Trump if he read.
Yeah, well, no, but so they do these denial of service attacks, and so they briefly shut down public access to the Library of Congress, and you know.
Next topic.
Yeah, why did you interrupt? Why did you interrupt what we were talking about for that?
Nobody cares.
I didn't
about
interrupt.
this.
I asked if we wanted to change the subject.
No, you didn't ask.
Well, we figured. Wait a minute. Well, you know, in all honesty, he said, "Do you mind if I change the subject?" And we said, "Go ahead," because we figured it was going to be something interesting.
All right. Well,
But we should never assume that with Phil.
All right.
He has his show notes. He has his show notes. He spends about an hour before the show.
Well, somebody has to do prep because I ain't going to.
Well, I did prep this morning and last night. But no, this I thought was interesting topic, and you know.
Somebody else thinks so.
By the way, did you ask your doctor why you couldn't take the what do you call it, the citric nitrate, whatever stuff?
No, because the guy that was
citrate.
sticking the thing up my ass was different than the woman that I talked to for the to get the appointment.
What, to stick something up your ass?
Well, you have to ask.
Couldn't you
her
just
first.
go to Oakland at about 3 a.m. and get that service? Or as Bubbles used to say, knock on their door and say, "Are you open? I've got cash."
No, you just gotta say I'm Benjamin Dover. Bend over for short.
Yeah.
Are you open? I have cash.
I have cash.
Yeah.
Man.
He has the timing down great.
Huh? Yeah. Oh man, I'm a little tired. Now I'm getting a little loopy.
How about the guy that got that stabbed the guy in New York, the bodega in the Bronx, and he stabbed him 5 times, and they arrest him for murder.
It was an accident.
No, I think that they're going to say he should.
Wait a minute. Who did they arrest for murder?
The clerk.
The store.
And he stabbed the guy 5 times.
Yeah, the guy came behind the counter.
And stabbed him 5 times.
No, and tried to. I think I don't know if he had a knife or not. Does anybody know?
Why don't you go read the story and come back to
Tony
us,
knows.
Phil?
Come back. Yeah.
I
Mute him for
pulled
us.
him up. Now I don't know if he pulled a weapon on him or not, but I know he was I think it was an attempted robbery, because he was behind out there and nobody else was there.
Yeah.
And I guess they got into a scuffle. He was like, they said the owner was like, he thought he was like his life was in danger. I guess he felt threatened. And then
If
he
you
kinda
feel your life's in danger, what you do is you put your hands up and you say, "Take whatever you want to," and just
Oh
leave.
no! It wasn't over money. What happened was this guy.
No, yeah, I'm
his
going to get the
girlfriend-
story straight from you. Go
Right,
ahead.
His girlfriend tried to use a credit card or a debit card to buy some potato chips.
Everybody have a drink.
Yeah.
You, Alan.
Look at this.
And
Already, I'm done.
the card didn't go through. So what happened was she calls her boyfriend. The boyfriend comes. He jumps over the counter and he starts pummeling this guy. The guy grabs a knife and he stabs him 5 times. The New York DA, instead of saying it was self-defense, ends up
It's not
putting him in Rikers Island.
it's not the DA's job to decide it's self-defense. It's a jury's.
Well, I understand, but they're charging him with murder, and so the
Did
DA
the guy
put him
died?
in Rikers,
The guy died?
No, the guy the young punk who jumped the counter, he died.
That's the question I asked, Phil.
Yes.
It's on videotape too, Phil. I'm looking at it now. He jumped over the counter, Alex. It's on videotape. I can tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pushed him against the wall, so I guess they started having a scuffle, and then somebody must have brandished the knife. And
This was over a candy bar?
Potato chips.
I don't know what it was actually for, but
Well, if it were candy bar, that'd be a different story
It
altogether.
still sounds like self-defense to me.
Yeah, it does, and the DA, who never gives bail to anyone, just lets people out of jail in New York. He gave this guy $500,000 bail, and there was so much outrage. Even the mayor of New York is outraged over this.
he loaded the 50
Did he
grand.
have time in his busy schedule to get outraged?
Well, yeah, he sent out a memo, but so they lowered it to $50,000. And this guy was just a clerk. He wasn't the owner of the store. They call them bodegas.
Yeah, they call them bodegas. They've been calling them bodegas since you lived here. Where have you been?
I lived in Westchester.
That's upscale, Alex. He didn't live in Queens. Oh.
I thought you lived in Brooklyn.
I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, where they have bodegas.
No, well, I was too young. We moved up to Westchester.
He was
went to the
going
country.
to the city dump, right?
What?
How much do you have to post for bail for 50 grand? Is it like half or
$5 grand.
5 grand, 10%.
10%. 10%.
10%? Okay. It's
You can
unfortunate.
afford that.
Unless you, of
Tony.
course, leave
Yeah.
town, in which case they try to collect it all.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, the Bodega Association put up the 50 grand for this guy. So the owners of all these, there's many bodegas. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, you know, I mean, that's just another one of those stories. We have our mayor sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he talks crazy.
It was your DA.
Well, the DA was appointed, I believe. Was he?
No,
Oh no, he was. He
well,
was.
maybe he was.
I think he gets elected here.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill knows if the DA is appointed or not, but he's never heard the term bodega.
Everybody's got a DA. Not everybody has
Wasn't
a
it?
bodega.
Was it Biden the other day in referring to this
Yeah.
story
Yeah,
who
it was-
mispronounced
His wife called him a
bodega? Didn't he?
Yeah.
His wife called them tacos.
Ta-
One of the, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, Alex, how do you say that?
I think some speechwriter is going to get fired.
Yeah, really.
No. That wasn't exactly it, Tony. You didn't have it right.
How did it go again? I was like,
San Antonio.
I think she pronounced bodega wrong. Is what she
Right.
did.
Yes, that's what I
He
heard.
did that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. You
the
know.
bodega across the street, my mother got held up and, well, she went in there to put her numbers in one time. In the back is where the milk is. They came in and robbed the guy, and my mother was in the back. She wouldn't come out until they left.
Well, that
She
was,
came
it.
out.
That
So
was
what
a
happened,
good
they
move
robbed-
on her
They
part.
robbed once a month. It was like the easiest to steal deli.
Nice to hear your mother's smarter than you are, or was
Yeah,
smarter
no
than you
kidding.
are. She still is smarter than you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't know which way was up, God bless her.
And neither do you.
I got robbed again.
Somebody wrote me about you, Tony. Somebody wrote me about you. Let me see if I can find it here just
Oh,
quickly.
Must have been Trump.
No, it had to do with one of his Trump statements. But let's see here. No, I guess if some woman who wrote about you. No. It's somebody else. Okay. No, I guess it's not here.
Not about Alan again?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, what's happened, Alan? You have pissed people off lately. You're getting.
Phil's doing the job for me.
He's trying to piss
And
people
Tony.
off.
And
He's
Tony.
just not very successful.
Sorry, Brian. It's.
Here it is.
Those are fun.
It says here, Tony can think for himself. He's not in denial about our current president like so many others are. What's that? No, that doesn't sound like the one I saw. Which it went after you.
How many
Tony.
are there?
It just said you were an idiot, which I defend you, but I have to kind of agree. You know, so.
Hey, Tony got mad at me for playing the audios last night. So what I'm going to do, Alex, is I'm going to try and find out a way to save those audios and send them to you as a file.
I hate hearing my
You
voice.
send it
promo.
to me, and then I'll put it up on my Facebook
I just hate
page.
hearing my voice.
Okay.
I ask you a question. When you were on the radio, if somebody gave you a tape, like I have your old audio tapes that I bought for somebody, I
Mhm.
was trading, would you ever want to hear your voice on like old shows or no?
Yeah, sure. I listen
Oh,
to,
you wouldn't mind it?
I listen to them all the time. People send me tapes all the time of old shows. That was when I was good. No, I love listening to them.
Oh, I thought you wouldn't like to hear your own, like if you
Oh
heard your
no,
voice.
I love hearing them.
Yeah, they're
You
called
know.
sound checks.
No, I because it reminds me how good I really was. I didn't think I was that good. Now I
Don't they
feel
call those
I'm,
sound checks.
I feel I'm not as good as that. You know, but what were you were giving a yes, a thumbs up to that, Brian?
Yes, Moon rocks. You straight from the moon. Moon rocks. Gonna see you real soon. Moon rocks. Let's go to Moon rock.
Yeah.
You just think of this and like, did this just all come into your head? No. That's an old jingle. Okay.
Why don't you get your group of friends to all sing with you?
Yeah, I tell
Speaking
you what,
about
we used to
moon
know
rocks,
that.
you know, they used to call me Moon Rocks when I was in grade school because I wanted to go into outer space. You know, I said we're going to do it soon, and everybody's going, "Oh, you're crazy." You know, said we're going to be in space within 10 years, and we were.
Do
But
you still have that old cartoon of you being Moon rocks?
I can't remember. I have.
I had a friend of mine. He was a cartoon.
No, I have.
artist for a local-
Yes, I have that. I have it as part of my files here. But
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, I was really into space and space stuff, and I'm looking tonight at you know, another rocket going up with SpaceX and NASA together, and it's all thrilling me.
We live in interesting times.
We do. We live in very interesting times. You're probably going to see it more than I'm ever going to be around for it, but who knows? I mean, I'd like to live. I'd love to at least live to be 95 so I can see us land on Mars. You know.
Somebody's got to entertain us, so you got to stay alive for a while.
Yeah. Now let's see here. What is Adrian doing? She's just
She's
nothing.
trying to get COVID again.
Hi, did
Is
you
she
test
still,
yourself, by the way, Brian?
Huh?
Did you test yourself today at all? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you? Still got it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh,
You
okay.
think, all right?
Adrian too.
No, she just got finished with it.
Yeah.
But she can get it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think she will.
Boy, that's such a nice. It looks so nice. It makes me
Yeah,
feel.
that'd be a good Christmas card, Brian. Take a picture of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how, it's only. Let's see here. What time is it out there? It's only 9. Oh, it's 9
5
o'clock.
Oh, it's almost time to say goodbye. You
What's
gotta
her?
say
What's her?
goodbye.
Wait a minute. What's her bedtime? Brian. What's her?
Yeah.
What's her bedtime?
Well, it's no school. It's summer school. It's summertime. So
Yeah. So what? She gets to stay up till 3 in the morning. What?
No, 10:30.
10:30. Oh, okay.
No, we're watching. You said GoPro, and I forgot I had GoPro from the cruise and from LA trip. So I was downloading all my GoPro. So that's what she's looking at.
Yeah.
GoPro, a lot of fun. You know, we did the go karts, had the GoPro on there, and the water slides.
I don't know how to use this. I've never turned it
You
on.
push one button and it works. Which one is that? What number is that?
There's more to it than that.
What number is that?
What? Yeah, number 4.
4.
4?
Yeah, it's a 4 silver.
Forget it. That thing's
The 4
shaky and
black, I
everything
think.
else. The new ones are great.
What's the new one? What number's the new one?
Well, the newest one is 10. I have a 9.
I have a 7. I have a 7 because you said go get one.
Yeah.
Right when you got your 7, I got my 7 because my 4, I thought I had the right waterproof case on it, and I jumped in the water in Vietnam, and right when I got up, I noticed,
Well, the Steadicam, the Steadicam part of it on the starting on the 8 is just phenomenal.
Really?
You know, yeah.
I have a way of hooking this to my underwater camera enclosure, and
Well, you know how
I never bothered turning it on.
Yeah, you know why you shouldn't turn it on? Because
Why?
it only lasts about 5 minutes before the battery wears down on that one.
And I also have a rear screen on this one, so it won't last even
Did you
5
buy
minutes.
the rear screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old thing. Now they all have rear screens and front screens.
Really?
Yeah.
all waterproof now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to get a new one, Mr.
Well, we're almost through here. Let me see here. I
And we
guess-
haven't seen Charlie's shirt. Is it Charlie? Is that a new shirt?
That's a new shirt.
What does it say? What is it?
It's a recursive algorithm. It says, while not dead, eat, code, sleep.
Well, thank you very much, Brian with a Y. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Nice to let us join your little party. And let me see here. Thank you very much to Alan, and thank you very much to Phil, and thank you very much to Jeff and Charlie, and of course our old friend Tony, and then the dancing little fool Adrian.
Look at her go.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
He's old.
She's seeing way too
Yeah,
many.
old.
She's even way too many TikTok videos. It's like a TikTok move.
He's so old. He's old.
And
She said, "Are you old?" And I said, "How old is old?" She said, 100. I said, "No, I'm very young then."
anyway, everybody, thank you very much, Brian. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Boy, I'm telling you, this has been a terrific evening. I thank them all for joining us, and we had a lot of people watching us tonight, more than we usually do. So, well, that's good. Anyway, Jack Bishop is next. He's here with The Intersection. He'll be taking your calls live on Skype. And the number to call is Gabnet Live. Gabnet Live. That's what you put in. You call them on Skype. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.